Based on the U.S. F-16 Fighting Falcon, the F-2, often known as Viper Zero, is a Japanese multi-role fighter plane. The F-2, which was created by Mitsubishi Heavy Industries and Lockheed Martin, featured Japanese avionics and improvements, including as an AESA radar, a reinforced fuselage, and an expanded wing. It's Japan's answer to next-gen air defense, built with American roots, but deeply tailored for Japan's needs. It's smarter, larger, and equipped to dominate the skies around the island nation. Let's dive into the story, the engineering, and the legacy of the F-2 fighter. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Now, let's get started. The origins. Birth of the FSX program. Back in the 1980s, Japan's Air Self-Defense Force was looking to replace its aging fleet of Mitsubishi F-1s. Instead of building something entirely from scratch, Japan teamed up with the United States in what became known as the FSX program. Initially, there was talk about co-developing a new jet, but eventually, the project centered around modifying an existing platform, the F-16 CD Fighting Falcon. The partnership was complex, politically sensitive, and highly scrutinized. Some in the U.S. feared Japan would get too much of America's fighter jet tech, while Japan insisted on making enough changes to call it its own. After years of back and forth, what came out of the FSX collaboration was more than just an upgraded F-16. It was a different aircraft altogether. Design. The principal component subcontractors included General Electric, Kawasaki, Honeywell, Raytheon, NEC, Hazeltine, and Kokusai Electric. As part of two-way technology transfer agreements, Lockheed Martin provided the store's management system, advanced slats, aft fuselage, a significant portion of the wing boxes, and other parts. The forward fuselage and wings were constructed by Mitsubishi, while the midsection of the fuselage, the main wheel doors, and the engine were constructed by Kawasaki. Japan Aviation Electric and Honeywell, previously Allied Signal, collaborated to create the digital fly-by-wire system, while Lockheed Martin provided some of the avionics. Raytheon, NEC, Hazeltine, and Kokusai Electric were among the contractors for the IFF interrogators and communication systems. Japan developed the IRS, the mission computer, the EW system, and the fire control radar. Furthermore, Japan was largely responsible for the development and integration of the flight control computer, flight control regulations, and associated computer software. MHI completed the final assembly at its Komaki South site in Nagoya, Japan. What makes the F-2 different? The F-2 might look like an F-16 with a fresh coat of paint, but under the surface, it's packed with changes that make it distinct. Size and structure. The F-2 is around 25% larger than the F-16. It has a bigger wing area for better maneuverability and longer range, especially useful for patrolling Japan's vast ocean territory. Materials. The F-2 was among the first fighters to use composite materials extensively in its structure. This helps reduce radar signature and weight while maintaining strength. Avionics. Japan developed a homegrown mission computer, radar warning receiver, and electronic warfare suite. These systems were tailored for local needs, like tracking fast-moving ships and dealing with threats in the Asia-Pacific region. Radar. Perhaps the biggest leap was the JAPG-1 radar, the world's first active electronically scanned array AESA radar deployed in a fighter jet, years before it appeared on U.S. fighters. This allowed faster, more precise target tracking and better resistance to jamming. So even though the F-2 began with the F-16's DNA, Japan's version was very much its own beast by the time it rolled off the line. Built for Japan's defense strategy. Japan is a nation made up of thousands of islands and surrounded by contested waters, including areas near China, Russia, and North Korea. So its fighters need to be excellent at long-range patrol, maritime strike, and interception. It can carry 4 ASM-2 anti-ship missiles, giving it serious firepower against naval threats. With larger fuel tanks and air-to-air refueling capability, it's suited for extended missions over open seas. The large cockpit and canopy, redesigned from the F-16, give the pilot better visibility, key for dogfighting and situational awareness. And because of Japan's strict self-defense-only policy, the F-2 is not a deep strike aircraft. It's more of a multi-role interceptor and guardian of Japanese airspace. Production, challenges, and limited numbers. Building the F-2 wasn't easy or cheap. Japan's insistence on domestic technology meant that development costs skyrocketed. Each F-2 came with a price tag that was about 4 times higher than a standard F-16. Delays, budget issues, and limited production infrastructure all slowed things down. Originally, Japan planned to build 141 aircraft. In the end, only 98 were delivered between 2000 and 2011. Despite the small number, each jet represents Japan's push for independence in aerospace tech and a major step forward in domestic capability. Combat role and modern upgrades. Though the F-2 has never seen actual combat, it plays a frontline role in Japan's defense today, constantly intercepting foreign aircraft near Japanese airspace, especially from China and Russia. And it hasn't been standing still. The F-2 has received various upgrades over the years: enhanced data link systems for network-centric warfare, improved missile systems including the ability to launch newer, longer-range air-to-air and air-to-ground weapons, upgrades to its AESA radar, and avionics for modern threats. Despite being developed in the 90s, the F-2 is still a modern, combat-capable platform, and Japan's Defense Ministry plans to keep it flying well into the 2030s. The future. Enter the FX. Japan is already working on what comes next. The FX, or F-3, stealth fighter. This next-gen platform is being developed with the lessons learned from the F-2 and will be built almost entirely with Japanese technology. The FX aims to combine stealth, advanced sensors, and AI-assisted combat systems. Mitsubishi Heavy Industries is leading the charge again, just like with the F-2. And while the FX won't fully replace the F-2 until the 2030s, it's a clear sign that Japan is moving toward self-sufficiency in defense aerospace. Still, the F-2 laid the foundation. Without it, Japan wouldn't have the experience or confidence to take on something as ambitious as the FX. Because the unit cost of the F-2 program, including development expenditures, is almost 4 times higher than that of a Block 50/52 F-16, which does not, the program was controversial. Although the price per aircraft was fairly high even at the anticipated purchase levels, the inclusion of development expenditures distorts the incremental unit cost, as is the case with the majority of contemporary military aircraft. Without accounting for lower production costs, the original proposal of 141 F-2s would have lowered the unit cost by up to $10 million, 7.5 million euros. 94 airplanes were planned as of 2008. The Mitsubishi F-2 is more than just a modified F-16. It's a story of national pride, advanced engineering, and strategic independence. It gave Japan the edge it needed in its own airspace and helped push the boundaries of fighter design in Asia. From the legacy of World War II Zero to the Viper Zero of today, Japan has shown the world it can not only keep up, but innovate on its own terms. If you found this video fascinating, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you don't miss the next deep dive into the world's most incredible machines. Got a topic you'd love to see covered? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep your eyes on the skies.